right, hello students. I'm going to do an Adobe Lightroom demo for you on the iPad today. So this will be hopefully short demo, just to kind of get you introduced to how Lightroom works. First thing is, after reading the syllabus, you should have downloaded a few apps for me. If you have not read through the syllabus in the introduction folder, make sure you do that. You should have downloaded Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom, and the Padlet app. If you've never done that before, you click on the self-service icon, and in the self-service, those are all the apps that are available for you to download, and you should be able to find them there. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open Adobe Lightroom. Now, if we are going to edit photos, the easiest way to edit your photos would be to actually airdrop them from your phone or take them on the iPad directly. So if you do have an iPhone, you can turn on the airdrop by going to your settings, and then you can actually go to airdrop, and you can go to everyone, and then you can airdrop your photos to yourself. You can also email them to yourself or upload them to Google Drive, and then you can save them from Google Drive on your iPad. If you need help with that, just let me know. But I'm gonna click on Lightroom. If you've never used Lightroom for the first time, they're gonna kind of guide you through, and they're gonna give you some demonstrations and things like that. But for me, I've already used this, so these are some of the things that I've edited. Lightroom is very different than Photoshop. Photoshop, you can actually put things together, whereas in Lightroom, you edit individual photos. So Lightroom is just kind of a good way to start before you add things to Photoshop. So in Lightroom, I'm gonna take a photo that I've already done. If you've never uploaded a photo before, down at the bottom right corner, you can click Upload, and you can add a photo from your camera roll, okay? So I've already done that, so I'm gonna open up the photo that I'm trying to edit. Now there's multiple things that you can do in Lightroom, and I'll tell you that the options are endless. So there are a lot of different things that you can do, and I'm kind of relying on you all to experiment a little bit. I'm gonna show you a couple easy things that you should do with all of your photos, and from there you can experiment on your own. First thing is, I'm going to click on the crop button. So the crop button is in the top right corner with all the other tools. You're gonna click on the crop button. I'm highlighting it so you can see which one. And what the crop does is it allows you to rotate the photo. So first thing, I always want my horizon line to be straight, so I'm gonna rotate it. So now my photo is the correct rotation. And you can also drag and remove some things as well. So if there's too much going on in your image, like I think I'm just gonna get rid of this little crane right here. Okay, and then that's kind of what I wanna focus on. Whenever you're happy with that, you can click done at the bottom, and then your photo will be cropped and ready to edit. Next thing you can do is you can edit the lighting. So up here at the top corner, you'll see that there's a little like scroller icon, and that's what you should tap on next. You should always edit all of these items to make sure that your photo is the correct, like you want your photo to look like it would look in person to the bare eye, which I know it looks different in camera form. So you're gonna first adjust the lighting, and you can drag these back and forth, and you can kind of experiment and see what each one does. You can make some things darker, lighter. You can edit the colors slightly. And from there, I'm just gonna kind of adjust the colors a little bit. And then once you get it where you like it, so this is definitely more clear than it was, then I'm gonna move down to color. And color, you do kind of the same thing. So you can drag it back and forth. You can make it look cold. You can make it look warm. Kind of depends. It was very cold the day when I took this picture. My son's daycare is actually downtown. So sometimes I go for walks after work, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to drag the tints too. You can kind of adjust the tint color. You can adjust how vibrant the colors are and how colorful the colors are. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to keep it like that. It's nice and warm. And then you can actually, this is a cool one, you can go to color mix, excuse me, and what color mix does is you identify certain colors that are already in the image that you wanna pull out and make brighter. In this case, I wanna edit my sky color, but I don't wanna adjust the colors of anything else. So I'm gonna choose the blues, and you can choose both, and I'm just gonna drag these to kind of adjust that blue color. So you can see in the background, it got slightly more colorful. So you can drag this, and again, it's only gonna adjust that one color that you chose. So now I'm gonna do the dark blue as well, and just kind of see what happens. See, this one you can really see the difference if I drag back and forth. I kind of like that purple there. It's not super realistic, but that's okay. There's no rules. You can edit them however you'd like. And that adjusts my sky. I really like the way that looks. It also has a reflection on some of the buildings too, which I think is pretty cool. So then you can, from there, there's even more. So there's different effects that you can do, clarity, texture. You can make it hazy or not hazy. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. And from there, there's other things you can do as well, detail and things like that. So you can mess around with the other things and see what you can do. So that's what I like. The other option is you can tap on this, and there's some preset filters that you can choose. So if you're someone that wants to do some kind of artistic effects, again, this is right here. I'm highlighting it on the right-hand side of the screen. And this is where you can kind of find those filters. So if you wanted to experiment with some of these filters, sometimes they're cool. Sometimes I think they're a little overdone, but you can definitely play around with those if you'd like. You can also tap the 3 little dots to adjust them even more if you'd like, okay? For now, I'm gonna go back to my original photo. I'm gonna hit cancel. And then from there, the last thing I wanted to show you is how to adjust blemishes. So this little Band-Aid looking tool is on the right. And it's called the healing brush. So if you have any areas that you don't like or you wanted to cover up, you can use your fingers to drag on the screen to zoom in and out. I'm gonna remove, I want this whole wall to look like snow. So I'm gonna remove this. And what you're gonna do is you can adjust the size and it'll show you how big. You never wanna make it really big. You always wanna try to make it about the size of the object you're trying to get rid of. You can add feathering, so I like how sharp that outer edge is, and the opacity is how see-through it is. So I wanna make it not see-through at all. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap this area. That's where I'm gonna start getting rid of, and you can drag this little circle and find a place where you can cover it up, something similar to what you're trying to cover it up with. And I'm gonna tap it again over here, do the same thing. Find a circle area, and then I'm gonna tap it here, and I'm just gonna keep doing that, and then let go until that whole area is gone. And there's still a little bit right here that I wanna move as well. So I'm gonna drag that up. And then once I like it where it is, I can hit done. And then that covered up that area. And then there's still a brown spot, so I could go back in and do it again. Okay, and sometimes that's kind of hard because it gets a little cluttered, so I could maybe zoom in as well. And then I can hit done. And then that's where I'm really getting that kind of cover up. So you can do that like if you have a blemish on your face or you have a big pimple or something, that's an easy way to cover that up as well. So like I said, there's a lot of different things you can do in Lightroom. I'm kind of relying on you guys just to experiment a little bit. So those are the basics. We're gonna use Lightroom for our first project. So what you're gonna do for your first project is you're gonna utilize Lightroom to edit a series of photos. So the rubric is in Schoology. So if you go back to Schoology, you can locate everything that you need to locate in the rubric in Schoology. So I can't remember where I put Schoology here. Hold on. There it is. So in Schoology, remember that you can locate your class, and in the week or the unit 1 folder, week 2 are all of your lessons. This is how every unit's gonna go. You're gonna go through these lessons for photography and digital files, and you're going to complete the quiz. For week 3, I'm gonna have this demo video included, so you can watch the demo video and you can look at your assessment rubric, and then you can actually complete it using the unit 1 assessment. So that's kind of how that is gonna work out. The last thing is to actually get your photo to upload. You're gonna use the export tool, which is this icon up at the top, and you can export to camera roll, and that's gonna save it as a JPEG, which is a very common image file, and you should be able to go to your camera roll and get it from there. So thank you for watching this demo. Hopefully this was helpful, and please reach out if you have any questions or concerns.